Star Wars Rebels is 10 years old this year. With its first promotional shorts airing in August 2014 and its first episode in October 2014, it seemed like the perfect time to celebrate the series by taking a look at one of the best recent ships in Star Wars. I'm Joey from Radio Free Coruscant, and this is the VCX-100.
Carson, are you reading this?
That's a tremendous surge in power.
It's the hyperdrive. They're gonna jump.
Design. The Corellian Engineering Corporation VCX-100 light freighter was an octagonal, almost diamond-shaped cargo ship. It had a cockpit and large gunner's station at the front of the ship with a boarding ramp in the chin below them. Behind the ramp housing was a ventral hatch for the forward cargo bay, which could also be magnetized to carry external cargo. At the rear of the ship were 4 tightly clustered sublight engines, 2 large and 2 small. Above these was a small docking platform for the VCX series auxiliary shuttle. In a genius engineering move, the shuttle could be docked either forward or backward in this bay, allowing the weapons to be used if docked backward, or allowing for a faster docking process and a quick getaway if facing forward. The shuttle could be accessed from the VCX-100 through its rear hatch if facing backward, or through a hatch in the floor in either direction. The docking platform could also be modified to support other similarly sized ships by a skilled mechanic. The interior of the VCX made great use of the space available and had 2 decks. The upper deck had the cockpit, 4 crew quarters, access to the dorsal turret, and access to the auxiliary craft. The lower deck had the ship's cargo holds, access to the port and starboard airlocks, a passageway to the boarding ramp, the nose gunner's turret, and additional crew living spaces. A ladder connected the 2 decks. In the real world, the design of the VCX-100's nose was meant to resemble that of the B-17 Flying Fortress bomber from World War II, much in the same way that the YT-1300's cockpit was inspired by the B-29 Superfortress. Specifications. The VCX-100 measured 43.7 meters long, 33.8 meters wide, and 13.3 meters tall, almost exactly the same size as the Boeing 737 MAX 10 or Airbus A321neo, though obviously it had much greater mass and volume than either. Including the dorsal turret and landing gear, it was also as tall as a 4-story building. It had a maximum atmospheric speed of 1,025 kilometers per hour and a Class II hyperdrive. It was armed with 1 forward and 1 dorsal dual laser turret. The auxiliary shuttle could also be used as a rear dual laser when docked. We will take a closer look at the starfighter in a bit. Unfortunately, we have no official stats for how much freight it could carry. It had a sizable internal hold and could carry several bulk containers on the underside, so its capacity was clearly substantial. The most similar ships to it, in my opinion, are the Gozanti, YT-1300, and Barlaw's class freighters, which can carry 75, 100, and 120 tons of cargo respectively. With that in mind, I think it is safe to say that the VCX-100 can carry 120 to 150 tons. The freighter is recommended to operate with a crew of 4, namely a pilot, co-pilot and engineer, and 2 gunners. Though it can be flown by as little as 1 pilot and an astromech droid with ease. In addition to the 4 crew, it could also support 6 passengers and had storage for 1 month of consumables for them. All that could be purchased for 155,000 credits, which is in line with the prices of the freighters I compared it to previously and is a great value for the size and capabilities of the ship. It isn't entirely clear if the auxiliary shuttle is included in that price or is a separate purchase, but that ship is valued at 22,000 credits by itself. The VCX series auxiliary starfighter, also called an auxiliary shuttle or attack shuttle, measured 11.6 meters long by about 7.5 meters wide and 4.5 meters tall with the wings extended, or 4 wide and 3 tall with them folded. It was armed with one MS-2B twin laser cannon on the nose and one KX-4 laser turret on the top. The shuttle had a top speed of 1,200 kilometers per hour and was not equipped with a hyperdrive, but one could be installed with the right engineering knowledge. It required one pilot and could carry up to 8 passengers, though not comfortably. It could also carry a few cubic meters of cargo. As mentioned, the shuttle was valued at 22,000 credits. History. There isn't much information about the history of the VCX-100 class. It was first put into service shortly before 10 BBY and was considered a very impressive ship by ship enthusiasts of the time. In fact, Han Solo used a fictitious VCX-100 as collateral in a sabacc game against Lando Calrissian to attempt to win the Millennium Falcon from him. Not every customer was as happy with the VCX as Han and Lando were, though, as one could be seen for sale just a few years later at Zorby's Western ship lot on Ferrix, surrounded by dilapidated and damaged ships such as a Utilipede transport with no dorsal fin, a Y-wing with no engines, and an antique Breon Dayvan. Man, I should get back to my Every Ship in Star Wars series. Let me know in the comments if you missed those. Of course, the most famous VCX-100 is the Ghost. This ship and its crew were some of the most critical players of the early rebellion. Around 10 BBY, the Ghost was purchased by Hera Syndulla, who operated the ship with her droid chopper. Over the next decade, she would accumulate a small group of rebels known as the Spectres. This included former Jedi Kanan Jarrus, Lothal orphan and Padawan Ezra Bridger, Mandalorian artist Sabine Wren, and Lasan Honor Guard Captain Garazeb Aurelios. The Spectres used the Ghost for a wide variety of missions to help people oppressed by the Empire and to fight the Empire directly. They performed various heists and raids on Imperial supply lines, as well as several key engagements of the early Civil War. The Ghost was present for the action at Mustafar, one of the Rebellion's first naval victories, which resulted in the loss of Grand Moff Tarkin's Star Destroyer. It was involved in breaking the siege of Lothal and the blockade of Ibar, and fought in the battles of Gorel, Atollon, and Scarif. Most significantly to the crew of the Ghost, it was also involved in the liberation of Lothal, which resulted in the disappearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn and the destruction of 5 Star Destroyers and other major Imperial infrastructure, including the TIE Defender project. It also made Lothal one of the first planets to be fully freed from Imperial rule. The Ghost was also crucial to the rebellion politically. In 2 BBY, it was used for Operation Handoff, the rebellion's mission to protect Senator Mon Mothma after she delivered a speech condemning the Emperor for the Gorman massacre. Initially, the Ghost was intended to simply refuel Mothma's ship, but when they were attacked by the Empire during the refueling process, Mothma transferred to the Ghost to escape. When they made it to Dantooine, she delivered another speech aboard the Ghost, officially creating the Rebel Alliance and urging the galaxy to revolt against the Empire. Following the Battle of Scarif, Hera took a bit of a step back from the fighting to raise her child. Even so, she and the Ghost still fought in the climactic battles of Endor and Jakku to finally defeat the Empire. Afterward, they served the New Republic, and decades later, the Ghost, as well as at least 2 other VCX-100s, was present for the Battle of Exegol. And that's everything there is to know about the VCX-100. This is probably my favorite light freighter design, or at least tied with the YT-1300, so I don't know why I waited so long to cover it. It's not like there's a shortage of footage of it like some of my other favorite ships. I'm not doing a breakdown of the GX-1 short hauler until I finally get around to making a 3D model of it, for example. I reuse footage a lot in these videos, but I don't think I can stretch 1 minute into 10 without people getting bored. I did recently start learning Blender though, so that may be in the cards sometime in the next couple years. Right now I'm working on the Gozanti freighter since I already practiced modeling that in Maya before my student access expired. Anyway, back to the VCX. Let me know what you think of it and what ships you'd like to see next in the comments. Any comment or like helps promote the video to new viewers and grow the channel. If you are a new viewer, welcome aboard. Please subscribe so you don't miss a video. I will see you next week. RFC, out.